Hi everybody, foXnoMad here, and today I want to help you travel smarter. Welcome to Seward, Alaska, where the sun is just coming up. This is a small town of 2,600 people, and today I want to show you a wildlife tour by boat. But first I want to see if I can find a place to get breakfast. Back in 1793, this town was a fur trading post established by the Russians. Today, though, it is named after William H. Seward, who in 1867 arranged the purchase of Alaska from the Russian Empire. It wouldn't be until January 3, 1959, though, that Alaska became the 49th U.S. state. It's Russian fur trading days behind it. These days, Seward is a tourist attraction for people who want to see, among other things, wildlife. And right now it's the middle of September, but the temperature here is just above freezing, so it's a little bit chilly, a little bit different from my last destination. So I'm going from ultra hot to crisp, which is it's nice, but it's a little bit chilly. So just above freezing. So hopefully this breakfast will warm me up a little bit. So Seward is along the south coast of Alaska, and it's where the railroad ends or the railroad begins, depending on which way you're going. A lot of people get here by rail, but you can also rent a car and drive here. It's a pretty easy drive from Anchorage. It's about 2 hours. It's pretty straight and easy drive. And you get beautiful scenery if you're coming during the day, and you can just see the views are just, I mean, look at that, is amazing. It's about 8 in the morning. It's just above freezing. A lot of places are closed for the season, but the places that are open are starting to get going with coffee and tea, and it's a pretty sleepy town. It's pretty quiet, and so just after the season, so it's in the off season right now. But I think it's a nice time to visit because the weather is cool, but it's not, it's not hot, and it's not too busy. And just look at this. I mean, look at it. It's nice. So let's go get some breakfast. So I've come to the Mermaid Grotto, which is very popular with locals, but also travelers and visitors who are here mainly to look at the town, but also to take this boat tour that's going to go up into the fjords. So the Mermaid Grotto here is open at about 8 a.m. in this time of the year, and it gets very crowded very fast. So my recommendation to you is, if you're coming here, you want to get here early. Alright, so this is the Mermaid, which is kind of like a breakfast burrito. It's got a flaky dough on the outside. I think it's a flour tortilla, eggs, cheese, onions, and tomato. The tortilla is really just super soft. It's like really comfort food, which kind of makes sense because it's freezing outside. You just kind of see how soft that is. Some of this, I think it's a chipotle sauce, which there's a lot of that here. Oh, a little bit spicy chipotle sauce. I wouldn't have guessed that this is a place where people eat anything spicy. No offense. They have coffee and tea to get your morning started, and you have parking around here. Get here early because it is gonna be busy. So at around 8 when I ordered my food, it came in about 5-10 minutes, but about half an hour after that, so around 8:30 when it started to get busy, closer to 9, there was about a 45-minute wait, and there were no seats available. It was really crowded. So if you're coming here, just make sure you get here early and on time. All right, so the boat has arrived now, and the sun is up, and it is a lot warmer. Like, it's not, before when I was talking to you, my mouth was like literally frozen, and now it's like it's kind of nice. It's not too cold. It's probably about 7 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty nice in the sun. It's pretty warm, which is going to be good because being out on the water is probably going to be pretty cold. And within a minute of heading out into the harbor, we were treated with apparently the only animal in these waters that wants to interact with our human boat, Dahl's porpoises. I won't hold it against you. A group of stellar sea lions, yes, they're not so humbly called that, arguing the day's news out on Resurrection Bay. Now, you would not think ice, even as much to make a glacier, could be impressive or remotely beautiful. But in person, up close, they are a majestic, heartbreaking reminder that things, especially up here in Alaska, are rapidly changing on our planet. Nowhere in the world is losing glacier ice more quickly than Alaska. Retreating about 35 meters per year, or 115 feet, melting glaciers are responsible for 21% of sea level rise. Ayala Glacier, which is often inaccessible due to rough seas, is also in retreat, with trees yielding a new environment taking its place. See right behind me is pretty amazing. Apparently it's not always accessible due to the weather. Usually it's a lot more wavy here, so it's not easy to get to, but the weather is pretty much perfect and a little bit warm, like I said, and you can see the glacier was just melting. You can hear these huge sounds of crashing ice going into the water, but it's a pretty spectacular sight. Definitely a highlight of the trip so far. It's just incredible. Not all of that melting ice though blends its way back into the sea. A small chunk of it is pulled up by our crew and prepared for margaritas. Humanity, I don't know what to think anymore, but sure, pour me one too.
So these are all going to be moon jellies, so they stand out pretty noticeably.
Alright, so this is Spire Cove. Apparently National Geographic called this one of the top 100 places in the world for photographers. So here's a look, and a couple of pictures of my own too. So there we go. That's the end of the boat tour, the end of the wildlife search, and the end of this day in Seward. Now, this going from breakfast all the way to the boat trip, I highly recommend the boat trip. It's just amazing. The scenery is just incredible. There's just so much to see. In addition to seeing the wildlife, the otters, the sea lions, the puffins, all kinds of things, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Seeing, I think though, the highlight of this whole thing, I think, is seeing Alkali. I can never remember the name of the glacier, but it was just so impressive to see up close, and you would never think, or at least I never thought, seeing ice would be just so impressive, but it really was. So I can't say enough good things about the tour. The crew was great, the captain was great. This isn't sponsored or anything, it's just something that I really enjoyed. And if you're in Anchorage, this is about 2.5 hour drive away, or you can take a train here. There's a scenic train as well, so you can do either of those two things to get down here, and it's really worth your time. It's a fantastic time, and I'll leave a link to the boat tour down in the description below so you can check it out. It is called Major Marine Tours, and I'll leave a link to Mermaid Grotto, where I got breakfast this morning as well. Also, you can go shopping there. And I'll also leave a link to the coffee shop, which is next to an abandoned train, or just an old train car that they've converted into a restaurant. So I'll leave a link to that as well if you want to get coffee in the morning. And there's also a place you can get food next to, and another rail car that's right across during the summer season. So if you happen to be here during the high season, during summer, you can do that, and you can get a meal before you take your boat trip and check out all the things there are to do in Seward. Thank you very much. Let me know if you have any questions about visiting Seward, what the trip was like, what breakfast was like, what the weather was like, any of that stuff down in the description below. And while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'll have new videos for you every week, and I'll see you in the next video.